America, you are losing your religion. At least, according to a new Gallup poll, you are. It found that a whopping 77% of Americans say religion is losing its influence in the U.S. That's a pretty big indictment of a country that supposedly takes pride in being a good Christian nation, right? So could this actually be true? Well, there is the fact that a courthouse in Florida is about to unveil the country's first atheist monument on government property. It's a 1,500-pound granite bench engraved with atheistic quotations. That sounds like evidence that America is losing its religion. Then there is also the fact that the Supreme Court has agreed to rule on whether or not prayers can be offered at government meetings. Two women in Greece, New York, challenged the town's practice of repeatedly having Christian clergy conduct prayers at the start of its public meetings. Opening prayers have been going on in Congress and throughout states since the birth of the country. So the fact that this is an issue today sounds like more evidence that America is indeed losing its religion. So the results of the opinion poll could very well be true. America is losing its religion in official venues, at least.
Nigel Barber, an Irish biopsychologist, predicts that by 2041, atheism will replace religion as the dominant belief, or lack thereof, in the world. His assertions are based on a study he recently conducted involving 137 countries, the results of which are set to be published in the near future. The author has said, atheists are more likely to be college-educated people who live in cities, and they are highly concentrated in the social democracies of Europe. Atheism thus blossoms amid influence where people feel economically secure. He also noted that religiosity is highest in impoverished areas facing many disasters with low educational opportunities. He feels that as areas of the world become more stable, they will abandon their traditional beliefs, something that he's found to be the trend elsewhere.
Driving down the road every day, you see billboards everywhere. Soon you will start seeing some like this: sleep in on Sundays, and imagine no religion.
The goal, as I see it, is to acquaint people with the fact that non-believers are among them in great numbers, that they are good people, that they are trustworthy people, and that people who want to free themselves from supernaturalism, which all religions carry with them, should feel free to do that.
The ads will start going up within a week around the area. Ray Arzate, CBS Atlanta News.
The Pew Forum on Religion and Public Life released a study last month showing that 1 in 5 Americans claim no religious identity. This group of non-believers has a name: Nuns on the rise. As a group, it's second only to Catholicism in size. According to the study, the nuns have in 5 years grown from 15 to 20% of adults in America. They feel no need to be part of a religious organization. So all this information begs the question, who are these people?
Some of the friendliest people I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, when I first came up here to Texas State, I didn't know a whole lot of people. I didn't know exactly what to expect, and I found this group and I was at home instantly.
The Secular Student Alliance chapter at Texas State is just one of many that have been created in the United States.
It wasn't until the internet when people from wherever could really get together and talk and interact and share their ideas.
It's unclear what kind of cultural or political impact the lack of religious identification will have on America, but there are signs that the trend will continue.
is one of the fastest growing social movements in the country. Yes, it is a movement, and it's gaining substantial political ground. Earlier this year, D.C.'s Reason Rally brought in 20,000 people in the pouring rain to stand for atheistic ideals. So is atheism a force to be reckoned with? And what will this mean to the dynamics of our country?
Thank you for having me on the show, Abby.
Thank you so much. So why do you think that, atheism's growing faster than any other movement, it seems? Why do you think it's largely ignored or marginalized in the social dialogue?
Well, it's been largely ignored or marginalized because religion wants it that way. And religion does not want their parishioners or their flock talking to atheists because, quite frankly, we make a lot more sense than they do. So they tell the parishioners that we're bad, we're evil, we are grumpy, we have no morals. And the atheists in this country are getting really tired of it. And thanks to the internet, thanks to the communication that the internet provides, nobody in this country, the atheists in this country, no longer feel like they're alone. We can connect with each other much more easily, in fact, effortlessly. And as a result, we can organize much more easily. And that's where we got the Reason Rally. And that is why atheism is the fastest growing religious segment in all of the 50 states.
In my church group in Greenfield, Massachusetts, at the age of about 16 or 17, I made a deal with my mom and dad that I wouldn't have to go to church services Sunday morning if I went to youth group Sunday night. And I read the Bible cover to cover. And I think that anyone who is thinking about maybe being an atheist, if you read the Bible or the Quran or the Torah cover to cover, I believe you will emerge from that as an atheist. I mean, you can read The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. You can read God Is Not Great by Hitchens. But the Bible itself will turn you atheist faster than anything. I think because what we get told about the Bible is a lot of picking and choosing. When you see Lot's daughter gang raped and beaten, and the Lord being okay with that. When you actually read about Abraham being willing to kill his son, when you actually read that, when you read the insanity of the talking snake, when you read the hostility towards homosexuals, towards women, the celebration of slavery, when you read in context that thou shalt not kill means only in your own tribe. I mean, there's no hint that it means humanity in general, that there's no sense of a shared humanity. It's all tribal. When you see a God that is jealous and insecure, when you see that there's contradictions that show that it was clearly written hundreds of years after the supposed fact and full of contradictions. And I started going into class, and to his credit, the pastor, who was a wonderful man, would let me talk to him about this stuff. After months of this platonic questioning every night at youth group, the minister called my mom and dad and said, I think maybe Penn should stop coming to youth group. He's no longer learning about the Bible from me. He is now converting everyone in the class to atheism.
Hi, I am a Christian.
Hello, I am an atheist.
Why don't people believe in God?
Why don't people believe in unicorns?
Well, because for starters they're not real.
And you say that based on what grounds, madam?
Nobody has ever seen one.
So you're saying you have to see something to believe in it?
I'm not saying that. And anyway, if you want to go there, how come no one ever found unicorn bones?
Okay. Now you're saying you must have physical evidence in order to believe in something? What about faith?
There's nothing about faith when it comes to unicorns. It's something from a children's book, for Christ's sake.
So you're implying that we shouldn't believe in things that only exist in fable books?
Yes. And besides that, if unicorns really existed, some biologist would already have published something about them.
Okay, let me recap this one more time. You're saying that, For someone to believe something exists, we must have 1. Factual evidence, 2. Physical evidence, 3. Scientific evidence, 4. All this evidence must come from somewhere other than a book. I guess now you understand why some people don't believe in God.